Today I'm going to show you how I transformed these Dollar Tree wooden Christmas ornaments with Iron Orchid Design molds. I'm Bargain Bluebird. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take these ornaments that I've stained and we're going to take the Iron Orchid Design molds. This mold is called Trimmings 3. It is a new one this year. And I'm going to show you how I work on these ornaments with them. And I also want to let you know, please be patient because at the beginning here I'm talking to you a lot about the molds and how they work, and more of the decorating does get into the later half of this video. So please be patient with me. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a review on the molds also. This cardstock that I'm using here is called Old World or Vintage World or Old World Winter, I believe, and it's from Hobby Lobby, and I can link that below. As a matter of fact, I also have an Amazon shop, and I have lots of things down there in my shop, like for Christmas gifts or home decor or craft things. So if you're looking for gifts or just want to do some browsing, check out my Amazon link below. Okay, while that's drying, we're going to talk about these Iron Orchid silicone molds. So this is what I'm using today, and I'm going to pick some of these to use, and these are really, it's a nice feel to this. And what I want to show you about these designs is this is actually a new design. I didn't realize this when I picked it up, but it is. And you see how this end and this end here are the opposite. It's meant for them to connect together so you can make one long continuous piece with it. The other thing that I want to point out, I don't know if you can see that right there, but that says 33 milliliters, or I think that says 50 grams. They've actually measured out how much clay you need to put into each of these molds, which is really cool. Like down here, this one here says 13 grams for that small one, and I'm definitely going to be using that small one. The other thing is that they have this nice rim on the edge that helps you to get a clean cut of your clay. The downside about this here today for me particularly is that I have looked all over for my little scale and I can't find it. So I'm still going to have to wing it, but this is a nice feature that they have, and if you have a scale you can weigh exactly what you need and then you don't waste any clay. They're food safe too, but they say to not use the same one for food as you would use for your other crafts. Anyways, okay, so we're going to be using that. IOD does make their own clay, but today I'm going to be using this clay that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I got this on sale for $7. The IOD clay, you can't just go run and buy it at the store. There's certain places you have to buy it. It is about $12 or $13, so it is more expensive than this. I'm sure it's really good, but anyways, we're going to be using this one today. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting these molds up to my pieces, and I'm just trying to see which ones I want to use with which ornament, and then I also am just trying to figure out which pattern I want and where I want the pattern to cut off, because I'm obviously not using the whole mold here. Also, when you take your clay out that you're using, when you open your package, you need to seal it again in a plastic bag so that the clay stays wet and doesn't dry out. Make sure when you're putting your clay back in that you fold that under, and then you want to put it with this side that you've opened down on the bottom there, so that you can keep it moist. pieces because originally I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the top portion, and so I figured it was better to stain them ahead of time in case I wanted to do like a chippy look for them. Actually, I ended up going in a different direction with some of these, particularly the large piece. So just stay tuned. In a few seconds I'm going to show you what I ended up doing with that, because I actually ended up doing the most work and most different things on that one. So I have this large ornament from the Dollar Tree, and I've stained it in Minwax's, I think it's medium walnut I have. And so I have this from the Dollar Tree. I stained it on the back. This is actually the back. And then I've turned it around and I drew a line here and stained it just on the top, because I'm going to decoupage the bottom of it with one of my vintage papers. Okay, it is the next day and I've allowed these pieces to dry, and they're still drying. It has not been 24 hours, it's in the morning. So this one here is looking pretty good, and so is this one here. Now this one here, I've got a little bit of extra clay here, and I'm going to have to take a look at that and see if I can get some of that off of there. This is the first time I've done this, so not too bad considering. And then here, this one where they come together, I did not get that together as well as I wanted to. Certainly not the mold or the clay's fault. I think this is my fault. Again, this is my first time. So this should really be closer in there. When I glued it, I was having a hard time getting it to stick in there right. So obviously it pulled apart when it dried overnight. So if I were selling this, I would kind of try to fix it or start over, but this is just for me, so for my purposes it's okay today. But next time I will try to maneuver my glue a little better. I'm actually going to get the glue that the IOD ladies recommended, which is Tight Bond. I used tacky glue, but they recommended the Tight Bond. I don't know, maybe that would work better. I don't know if I used too much glue or what. I don't know, or too little. I don't know. Anyways, this kind of pulled apart here. I'm a little disappointed in that, but again, I think that's more my fault. Here I'm just dabbing the plaster paint with a little round brush, just dabbing it on, giving it a little edging there. chippy paintbrush to brush this plaster chalk paint on here. This is a metallic champagne paste, and I'm using this now on here. I'm going to just go around those edges, and I'm also going to use it on the mold itself. Using it on this one too. I'm just really playing with this one. Did a lot of experimenting with this particular piece here, just having fun with it. Okay, then I got it in my head that I wanted to try some crackle. And so I went and bought some and decided to use it on this larger piece here because I felt like this big piece would show it the best. All right, so I put the crackle on this and then I waited like 4 hours and there was nothing. So I loaded it up more last night before I went to bed, and I definitely have the crackling today. Now, it's not exactly the way I wanted it to crackle, but I do have it, so I don't know, I might add a little bit more here. Well, there is some there, it's just really faint. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it the way it is. But anyways, that's how that turned out. But I had to put a lot on. I mean, like, I caked it on to get it to do that. So this would be like a bigger one there, and then these would be kind of finer ones here with a little bit less of the medium on there. All right, now I'm going to take my antique gold and I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm kind of like dabbing little spots all over the bottom and the top, all over the whole piece, and then I kind of splattered it a little bit and messed it up, so I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit here is what you're seeing me do. All right, so I just took some mesh here and let me just, I just put it through here. I took it to the hook where I want to put it, measured it, cut it off here where I wanted to do that. All right, we're going to put a bow on it now. All right, we're gonna let that dry and then we'll come back and trim it. Okay, first with 220 to smooth it out, and then with 100 to get some of it off. So obviously with this, I went ahead and painted the top. This isn't showing up quite as well on camera as it is in real life. So I may go in and just do a little bit more because I really still think it's kind of faint. And I have still not looked for the staple gun to see if we have it. If you remember the last video I did with the ornaments, I said that the staple gun would work well. And here's my finished product. If you've enjoyed this video today, you might want to consider subscribing to my channel or liking this video and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me. What do you think of these? I would really like to know what you think in the comments. Let me know which is your favorite. If you would pick one of these, if you would do this, what would you do with Iron Orchid Design molds? I'm curious to know. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you are a subscriber of mine, I really want to thank you so much for supporting me and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I wish you joy, I wish you peace, and I will see you in the next video.